Today is Thursday, July 30th, 2015. This rant will be entitled, "The Republicans Must Defund Planned Parenthood." Now, this whole Planned Parenthood thing has been getting a little bit of commotion lately, and this is the social issue that the conservative Republicans are going to lash out on, and it could have some very dire consequences for the United States in the next 2 months. So next week there will be some type of vote to defund Planned Parenthood in the Senate, and the way it basically works is that the Republicans must vote to defund Planned Parenthood, and the Democrats will obviously not vote for that at all. And remember, in the Senate, the Democrats can filibuster it, so it will never possibly come to a vote. So that takes us into the first week of August, which is next week, and then they will be on vacation till early September, and a number of things will come up in September. Now, the question is, what is going to happen at that particular point in time? And number one, Ted Cruz is itching for a fight. He wants to get back at McConnell. And he could, with some of his cohorts, initiate another government shutdown on this Planned Parenthood issue. It actually could get to that. I'm not saying that it will get to that. It could get to that. Don't know how that is going to work out with the general public. But remember, the House wants that to happen. The House will vote to defund Planned Parenthood. They may have already done it. And the Senate is looking to do it next week. Now remember, the Senate, it probably won't happen because the Democrats will filibuster, and that there already are cracks in the Republicans on this already. Now remember, this is something Ted Cruz needs to get some traction. Rand Paul is big on this. Rubio hasn't said much, but he'll probably jump online. Who is the last one? Graham. Really doesn't make any difference. He's too far down. But the thing is, this is the big social issue. The conservatives need that social issue. They're not in line with the majority of Americans, and we will see what happens. Now, when I said that there are cracks in the Republicans, as an example, Mark Kirk, who is from Illinois, is up for re-election. He's very vulnerable, and if he were to vote to defund Planned Parenthood, it would look terrible for him in terms of him trying to attract women votes, and the fact that Obama won Illinois very comfortably in 2012. Susan Collins, who's the Republican senator from Maine, I don't believe she's up for re-election, but she has clearly indicated she may not be inclined to vote for something like that, because even though the Republicans will say, we will just offset that money and put it to other agencies who will then be able to pick up the slack, she's suave enough to know that there are many rural areas in Maine, where she's from, and also many rural areas in many larger states, and that the only service that can provide the type of service that Planned Parenthood can provide is Planned Parenthood in many of these rural areas of many states. And remember that I believe there are more Republicans who are up for re-election in 2016 than there are Democrats. I believe there's over 20 Republicans and more than 10 Democrats, 33 or 34 in 2016 altogether. And I believe about eight or more Republican senators up for re-election in 2016 are from states that Obama won in 2012. And they are not necessarily inclined to vote to defund Planned Parenthood because it might kill their chances of re-election. So, number one, the Republicans have to vote for to defund Planned Parenthood. Number two, the Democrats will not vote to defund Planned Parenthood and will filibuster it in the Senate. That takes us into September, where we have some must-pass legislation in September, and possibly via Cruz and some of the other Republican presidential candidates, we actually could have a shutdown of the government. Now remember, last time, Obama didn't blink. It was Boehner who blinked. We'll see what happens.